and welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. I'm Linda, and today I'm outside in the garden and I am going to plant 2 tomatoes in a 5-gallon bucket. And the first one that I have is a Chef Jeff's world's largest tomato. So this should be interesting to see how that tomato comes out. And then we have a Arkansas Traveler. I've never grown the Arkansas Traveler, and I just felt like it was about time that I did. I didn't have any seeds, so that's why I went and looked for some plants, and I was able to find some in my area. So I already got my labels made out. I got my soil started. I started with a topsoil that I put into the bottom. I don't have a whole lot of it in there because tomatoes are heavy feeders and their roots are going to dig down into the soil. And I am going to add some of my black gold potting mix to the soil that is already in here, which is topsoil. Bring this up a little higher. And I'm going to be adding some Happy Frog fertilizer. This is my second time using Happy Frog fertilizer. And it's, I could have ordered mine, which I use the Espomo plant tone or garden tone or any of those. And I usually order them offline, and I have not done that recently. And I also purchased some at Lowe's not too long ago. And I wasn't planning on driving there either. So this was close, and the first time I used it, I saw some growth in my plants. So as long as it works, I'm not stuck on a particular brand, as long as I find something that is working for me and that helps the growth of my plants. Go ahead, I want to get these filled up about to the top. Today has been a busy day. I am noticing things that I had planted that did not germinate or germinated, and then during the Arctic freeze or the last frost that we had, they died. And so now I am having to scrounge and try and get those plants back. And I also noticed that I did not plant celery. I had planned to plant celery, and I can't find celery anywhere in my garden, so I've got to plant some celery. I also purchased another of the purple coneflowers because, as you remember, I had a purple coneflower, and it was a bare root. And when I opened it up, I only ended up with something that looked similar to some dried twigs. But I could admit when I'm wrong, and I think I'm wrong on this one. I think that the piece of bark that I threw away, I think that was my bare root purple coneflower. So I went back to Family Dollar, purchased another one, and now I am going to try to redo the purple coneflower. So we're going to see what happens, because there is another piece of bark in there. I'm going to lower the camera so you all can see how I am putting the fertilizer into my container. And I also have one rosemary that I planted. I planted a tray. Well, I didn't plant the whole tray with rosemary. There were 12. And out of 12, I got I got 2 germinations. Hold this up. I think that may be 2. Yeah, that's 2. One's really, really tiny. So I'm going to plant that today. But first I want to go ahead and do my tomatoes. So I'm going to just go ahead and take it out. We can get a look at the roots. Root system looks very good on this plant. Say the tag. So I'm going to go down pretty deep. And I'm going to remove just this bottom and also the little sucker that is in the armpit. And that's all I'm going to remove for right now. I don't have my glasses on, but I was trying to see if this says that it is a determinate or a indeterminate. It is indeterminate. So I can remove the suckers from this. If it is a indeterminate, you can remove the suckers because the plant is going to continue to grow. It's going to vine. But if it is a determinate tomato, you don't want to remove all your suckers, because if you remove all your suckers, you're going to be removing your areas that will be giving you fruit. So that's just something to keep in mind when you are planting or pruning your tomatoes. So I'm going to go ahead, put that down in the soil, put this soil back around the plant. The plant is buried deep with the soil right up around the neck of the plant. And I am going to put this tag back in there. And then we will pot up our other plant. As I said, the other one is a Arkansas Traveler. Add a little more fertilizer. We want to get these plants off to a good start. Let's see if this Arkansas Traveler is a indeterminate or determinate tomato. Indeterminate. Took me a while to see it, guys, because I don't have my glasses on, but it's indeterminate. So that means that we'll be able to prune this one also and not worry about pruning off our fruit. So just keep that in mind whenever you're pruning. You do not want to get carried away with your pruning and grooming your plant and take away areas where your fruit would be produced. And you end up having a cute little plant with few leaves and no fruit. So now we've got that one in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the label to it. I brought my pruners out today so that I could create my stakes, and I have some more of those crepe myrtle stakes that were branches off of my crepe myrtle tree, and they were pretty long, so we're just gonna stick it in here. And right now this plant really does not need a stake so much, but it could use it because of the wind, so I guess really it does need it. So we're gonna go ahead and just do a short stake. Okay, so we got a short stake. And this way we can just tie it in, and this will protect it from the winds, because we've been having some strong winds. It's been very windy today. It's supposed to be even more windy tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cut this stake before I put it into the pot, because I got a lot of dirt in my eye when I was doing that. So I'm just gonna take the pruner. And cut it, and now I still have some left for another project. And I'll go ahead and stick this one in here. Although this one doesn't need it right now, but I like to already have them in there so that whenever it does, because tomatoes will grow fast, especially with this fertilizer in there that I put in. And so now, just go ahead and water the plant in. I'm just gonna leave the other one where it is and water it in. Give it a nice drink. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this rosemary into a very small pot. This is just one I got laying around. This will be a temporary pot for this rosemary. Because I think it's probably feeling a little neglected. I'm going to go ahead and give it some real fertilizer. I'm saying real fertilizer, but I've been giving it some fish emulsion. But I'm going to put some fertilizer in the bottom. Go ahead and put the soil in there. Now I got one strawberry that is red out here, and it looks so good. The kids, they've been out here eating some. So I'm not gonna feel guilty for what's about to happen. But it is looking so good over there. I think it's red enough. I'm gonna show it to y'all as soon as I get through putting this in. So both of these, you know what? I thought that was two, but it's one. It's connected. So if I was to try to pull that apart, I would lose some of my root. So I'm just gonna leave that like it is while I grab some of this Happy Frog organic gardening fertilizer. Just put some in the bottom. You need a lot. Put it in there and work it in. Work it in so that you're ready to feed this plant. I'm just gonna tuck it in. Add some more soil around it. Today has been a busy day, and it seems like everything was going in fast motion. It's like I couldn't keep up. Seems like I got a lot done, but don't seem like I got enough done. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna water it in. Okay, let it get a chance to kind of drain while I show you all this strawberry. Now I have watered this strawberry so it's clean. There it is. Doesn't it look beautiful? And I probably could have let this get more ripe, but I'm gonna go ahead and eat this before the birds get it. And I hope that you all enjoyed this video, that you would give it a thumbs up, that you would share it, and that you would subscribe to my channel if you have not already subscribed. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.